What trait is possessed by man that has been evident since the earliest records of recorded thought? This trait shows itself in multiple times, in multiple ways in literature, movies, everyday conversation, and even manifests itself deep within our minds. It is a sense of longing or desire, the need to have what we cannot obtain or do not possess. This theme pops up in many places throughout literature, one of which is James Joyce's Evelyn. In this story, a young woman is contemplating running away with her lover. She thinks about escaping responsibilities, becoming someone's wife, and having a real chance at happiness. But when it comes time to leave, she cannot bring herself to go. Teddy Roosevelt, one of our presidents, did not keep his desires inside like Evelyn does. Instead, he acted on them. It was one of his wishes to preserve the beautiful land of America, and through his action and perseverance, he created the national parks that are still protected to this day. The garden party follows Laura Sheridan and her wish to throw a wonderful celebration. She wants nothing more than to make a party that is a success and a talk of the town. She is delighted at the result. However, during her party, the subject of a man's death arises, and after visiting his funeral, she gains a new appreciation for life. The story, Miss Brill, tells of an older woman who would dress in her finest clothes and attend a party every Sunday. She longed to be accepted among these people, and thought she was. However, a young couple whispered rude and hurtful comments about her, and she went home saddened and hurt. As John Adams once said, a desire to be observed, considered, esteemed, praised, beloved, and admired by his fellows is one of the earliest as well as the keenest dispositions discovered in the heart of man. The speaker in Sidney's Sonnet 1 is suffering from writer's block. He desperately wants to write and express his love for a woman, his muse. The sonnet ends with a rhyming couplet that has his muse telling him to look into his heart and write. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock depicts a man who is addressing a potential lover, but he is too scared of the possibility of rejection to make a move. He thinks too little of himself. The poem goes through various scenes and settings as Prufrock's mind slowly comes to terms with his lower status among others. In Shakespeare's Sonnet 1, the speaker desires a woman and wishes to sleep with her. He says that she is selfish and should be sharing herself with the world, but she is rejecting him. It ends with a rhyming couplet that says her beauty will be consumed by her and then eventually by death. In My Last Duchess, the speaker is a duke in need of a new wife. His previous duchess was a woman of great beauty. He desired her to the point where it became intense jealousy. Eventually his anger and wish to have her entirely to himself caused him to do away with her. Shakespeare's King Lear contains multiple examples of how desires drive people to act in ways that they shouldn't. This was a real story of betrayal and deception where King Lear was deceived into forfeiting his land by his two eldest daughters, who desired his money and power. They plotted his death and the death of their sister, while Edmund, a bastard son, was driven by his longing for power to betray his father and brother. These three were driven by their greed and desire for power, resulting in the tragic death of many. Many dictators rose to power because of an intense desire for power and control. Adolf Hitler was one of them. He became infatuated with that power, and it led him to commit terrible crimes against his fellow man. The Wanderer tells of a tale of a man who has lost his kinsman and now walks the land and sails over icy seas as an exile. He has lost everything and wishes for mercy. The poem concludes with the wanderer developing an answer to his melancholy. He says that what good men need is the wisdom of self-control and to seek mercy through God who can give them salvation. As a college student, I experienced desires, just like the characters in these stories, and many other people as well. The desire for a good grade, for sleep, perhaps for another person, for money, or for a good job. Through these stories, we can see how acting on those desires, or not, can have various effects. For example, Evelyn chose to bottle up her longing inside, and missed a potential opportunity at happiness. On the other hand, the characters in King Lear take their actions too far, and with bad results. Then there are those like Roosevelt, who have just enough drive and ambition to pursue and achieve their desires. And then there is the Wanderer, who teaches us that even if we never get what it is that we want, we can still find hope and happiness in new things. I believe there is a middle ground between giving up on what you long for and taking it too far. The important thing is to find it, and if you cannot achieve what it is you desire, to never give up hope.